Hey everyone, welcome to a Throwback Sunday episode of Hands-On Games. Today we are looking at a classic tabletop baseball game, Statis Pro Baseball. Published by Avalon Hill, designed by very famous sports game designer Jim Barnes. This is a game that was in distribution in the late 70s, 80s, and finally in the early 90s, I think 1992, Avalon Hill stopped distributing this game. So this is a relic. This is an antique. It's not currently being published yet. There are people, if you look on eBay, check out various websites, there's still people making player cards for this baseball game. So if you're interested in keeping this game alive, you can certainly do that with some diligent searching online. The reason I'm showing this game today is because over the past couple months, I've been highlighting sports games, History Maker Baseball, Stratomatic, and most recently Payoff Pitch. And in the comments, when I'm talking about those games, people will often ask me, well, what about Statis Pro? Did you like Statis Pro? Oh my God, yes. This was a big part of my childhood, this game. Just putting this board on my table brings back tons of memories. I've got this copy that I got off eBay a few years ago with the 1992 team, so this is probably one of the last editions ever published. I also bought some another version, the Great Teams version, so I have those teams in this box. I played this game to death as a kid. I'd watch the Phillies on my TV. I'd sit on the floor in front of the TV and have this on the floor and play out Phillies games on the floor with this game. There are so many things about this game that I like. Let me run through them. So first of all, this should bring back some memories. One of the cool things about these games is how as a kid you've got to punch out these player cards that come with the game off of sheets, and I wanted to show you guys these sheets. So in this version of the game, I haven't even punched out all the cards. There's been no need to. I've only played with a couple teams. But check this out. So when this comes in the box, you've got these, I don't even know what the dimensions of these sheets are, but you can see it's pretty big. And so you perforate and separate and separate and separate. When you're doing a whole league, it can take quite some time, but that's one of the cool things about these games. I'm sure some of you, remember doing that, and so wanted to show that. What else? The game comes with this great game board, which is probably one of my favorite parts of this game. I'll get to that in a second. The instructions, just really concise, really well written. They're only 4 pages. The rules couldn't be simpler. An introduction, the basics of how to play, and what all the abbreviations mean. Basic play, errors, infield position. Then you get into miscellaneous results, pitcher reduction, which is another feature that I love about this game, and on the back, injury tables. And that's it. I honestly, I do wish that current sports games could create instructions that were this easy to read and this concise. So I really do like these 3rd edition rules for Statis Pro. Then you get the charts. So much like other games, all the ones I've talked about on this channel, you're going to have charts. You're going to have lookup tables. And with this game, no exception. You have rare play tables. You have clutch defense tables, which we're looking at here. There's rare results. And then you have the results for all the different base situations. So when there's an out and bases are empty, man on first, man on second, man on third, first and second, second and third, first and third, and finally bases loaded. All the possible results are there, and these are the results that typically most of us game players will memorize over time. You won't need to refer to those charts so often. And finally, this game board. I love this game board. I always used it. Most of the modern games that come out that provide basic game boards to use, I never use them. They stay in the box. But this one was awesome. And I'll tell you the biggest reason why in a second. But first, let me go around the perimeter of the board. So in addition to just the basic gameplay that happens off of these fast action cards and the player cards themselves, you have all the strategy of baseball that is captured around the edge of the board. So you can just play and flip cards and make hits, make outs, and keep score and all that. But if you want to do hit and run, advance on base hits, steal a base, play the defense differently, do a sacrifice bunt, bunt for a hit, do a squeeze play, advance on a fly ball. All those special strategies are laid out on the board in front of you, making it really easy to execute on those strategies during the game. Now, in addition to places for the cards and a way to keep track of outs and pawns to keep track of base runners, my favorite part of this game, you know, as a kid and even now, are what are referred to as optional rules, but I always used them, the reduction rules. Just a really neat mechanic for keeping track of when a pitcher loses his effectiveness. And it's simple. Each pitcher, we're looking at Tom Glavine's card right here, has a rating right here, an SR rating, and Tom's is 15. So you keep this marker at the beginning of the game, put it on the 15. For every, let's see if I can remember this, base hit, walk, hit batter, pass ball, wild pitch, run scored. I think I caught them all, but basically anytime the pitcher gives up a base runner or a run, you reduce his pitcher reduction number by 1. So on a home run, it would be 1 for the hit and 1 for the run. He's down to a 13. It was just a lot of fun playing this game, you know, being able to track the pitcher reduction. And me as a, I don't know, 12, 13, 14-year-old, I didn't have to worry about understanding, you know, when should I take the pitcher out? How long do I leave him in? I would just let this tell me. And when he gets down to 1 and then 0, he loses his effectiveness, and you know it's about time to take him out. Now, moving on to what it means to lose effectiveness allows me to segue into the basics of the gameplay, which, like any other game from this era, is pretty darn simple. So Statis Pro Baseball is I believe I'm correct in saying, a 50-50 game. The results are either going to come off of the pitcher's card or the batter's card, and it uses a range. So the PB value on Tom Glavine's card right here is 2 to 7. If you flip over a fast action card and the result is within the 2 to 7 range, the subsequent at-bat result will come off the pitcher's card. If it's outside that range, it'll come off the batter's card. Now, Statis Pro Baseball uses a base 8 numbering system. So that was another cool thing at the time. What the heck was base 8? I didn't know. All I knew is the results were from 11 to 88, and that's what the results were going to be. So when you look at the charts, if you're looking at the charts, that's why the upper range is 88 and the bottom range is 11 on any of the possible values. And boy, did I love the fast action card deck. I mean, Stratomatic with rolling the dice is cool, and actually nowadays I've gone back to playing more History Maker Baseball, which is of course rolling the dice. But at the time, I love the fast action card system. I understand that the Statis Pro basketball game, also developed by Jim Barnes, uses a fast action deck. And I think Jim actually said his basketball game was his best game, but I loved how it worked for baseball. I think I've explained kind of how the mechanics work, so let me actually run through a sample at bat to give you a better idea. So for each result that you need, you flip a new fast action card. You don't flip one card and read all the possible results off of it. You're going to do multiple flips for an at bat, a minimum of 2. So first we're going to check. So we're going to have Barry Bonds batting against Tom Glavine. And you know, take a look at Barry's card from 1992, Pittsburgh. It shows that you know, played left field. There's his error rating and his throw rating, base running, stealing, home run rating, his clutch defense, sacrifice, injury rating, and then all the possible hits, single, infield single to singles to left, center, and right, doubles to left, center, and right, triples, home runs, strikeouts, walks, hit by pitch, and out. The CHT value is just saying he's a lefty power hitter, and if he has a clutch power at bat, you'll read the results from down here. And for the pitcher, for Glavine, we've already looked at his card a couple times, but it's got his PB rating to see if he's in control of the at-bat. I think it's also used for pass balls. He's a lefty. His clutch defense rating is a 4, error rating is a 2, injury 1, reliever rating 0, starting rating 15. This means he cannot be used as a relief pitcher, and possible results off of his card. And it shows you that he started in 33 games with 0 relief appearances. All right. So an at-bat is flipping a card, and you check the, so here's a fast action card, check the PB rating right here, and it's telling us that it's a 7. And that's all we need from this first card. And you'll notice that these fast action cards are both double-sided, and they have a left and right. So there's 98 of these cards in the game. But what you do is each time you go through the deck, you shuffle it up, flip it, and use the other side. So I know that this fast action card deck has been reworked by avid players, and people have improved on this default fast action card deck that comes in the game, but it's not something I ever looked into or I felt was needed. So the PB result is a 7. Tom Glavine's PB range is 2 to 7. That means the next flip of the fat card to get our random number will be a result that we read off of his card. Generally, for better pitchers, that means it's less of a chance of a good result for the batter. So we check the random number. The random number is a 77. And we look on his card and we see that from 45 to 88 is an out. So Barry Bonds has made an out. You're going to flip the card one more time to see what kind of out he made. He's an LP. He's a left-handed power hitter. And you look on the out sequence at the bottom left of the card. LP says G3 asterisk. That means it's a grounder to first. For those of you who aren't familiar with baseball, what Status Pro Baseball also does is it numbers the players in the field. So if you're not familiar with nomenclature, that the pitcher is number 1, the catcher is number 2, and the first baseman is number 3, it's kind of neat that they have that quick reference on the field for you. But anyway, getting back to the result, it's a ground out to the first baseman with an asterisk. That means there's a possible error. So if there's no error, we know he's out. We flip one more card, and we're going to look at the error line. And in this case, it says error none. Okay, so it was a successful ground out to first. Barry Bonds is out, 1 out. So just to recap, that was 4 flips of the fast action cards. First of all, saying that Glavine has control, then that it's an out, then that it was a ground out to third with a possible error, and then that there was no error on the play, and you would then, in your score sheet, mark G3 or ground out or out, and move on to the next batter. Nothing happens with pitcher reduction. He's still got his 15 strength up there, and you move on to the next batter. Now, I know that was only 1 at bat, but it does show you a certain elegance to the game. You get in a rhythm flipping these cards. So let me try another batter and maybe go more at the pace that someone playing the game would be playing at, so it doesn't seem like, wow, you had to flip 4 cards to get one result. That's kind of laborious. It's really not. It really starts to flow. So here we're going to have Jay Bell go up against Tom Glavine again. And PB value 6. We're reading off of the pitcher's card. The result's an 82. That's an out. He's a right-handed normal batter. RN result is F2, popped out to the catcher. Okay, so I wasn't timing myself, but I don't think that took more than 5 seconds to resolve that at bat. And I flipped 3 cards to do it. So now there's 2 outs, no base runners. Don Slott is up. We'll give him a shot. PB results is 7. It's going to be off of Glavine's card again. The result is a 35. 35 is a strikeout. Done. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, Pirates are out in order, and Glavine was totally in control that first inning. This is just a cool game. It works really well. It's really fast. It's really easy. You know, let's set up a different scenario. Let's say that folks like to see what maybe stealing is like. So let's just say Andy Van Slyke for the Pirates got on base, and he's on first base with no outs. And myself as the manager, I decide I want Andy to try stealing a base. So you've got the stolen base chart up here. I'll go ahead and read what it says since the print's kind of small. Obtain a random number and refer to the chart using the SP rating of the man or men involved. If the chart indicates the player does not steal, he simply holds base. On double steals, defense indicates which runner it will try for. On an error on double steals, second runner advances the same number of bases as the first. So what we're concerned about here is Andy's SP rating. So his stealing rating is a C, but we're going to try it anyway. Just flip a random number. It's 55. Read off the chart for first to second base. 55 says runner out if catcher a TA thrower. If not, he steals second. We're going to check our catcher for the Braves, Greg Olson. It's asking, is his throw rating an A? No. Right up there, you see how it's a B? So Van Slyke steals on Olson, and that's it. So Van Slyke to second. Okay, so the game does come with a very thick set of score sheets. So if you get a newer copy off of eBay, you should get plenty of these to make copies of, where you have room to mark the ratings for all your players in your lineup, so you don't have to look at their error rating, their throw rating, their stolen base rating, etc. You can write it all in on the score sheet, and then it's right there at your disposal during the game. Otherwise, it's a pretty standard score sheet, room for 9 or 10 innings of play, keeping stats on all your pitchers, and other notes with the line score up top. So very, very handy score sheet. So earlier I mentioned clutch defense, and let me just explain how defense weaves its way into this game, because pretty much every baseball sim has a way for defense checks. In this game, it's a combination of checking for errors, and what we've seen already in the examples of play, when you have an out and there's an asterisk next to the out result, you're going to check for a possible error on the play. Okay, that's the first way. The second way, anytime there's a base hit off of a batter's card. So here we'll take a look at Otis Nixon's card for those of you that are Braves fans. When a batter gets a hit off of his own card, a single up to a triple, you're going to check for a possible error in addition to the hit. So that's how errors come into play. Now, how we check a fielder's propensity to make great plays or boot the ball are the CD results. So when you flip over a fast action card and you're looking for that number, and instead of a number it says CD, okay, we're going to do a clutch defense check. You're going to flip another card, and you're going to look at the CD, you're going to look at the CD value, and in this case it would be the second baseman. So we're going to take a look at the opposing team's second baseman, and we're going to look at his CD rating. And again, this would also be on your score sheet if you were keeping records that well. And Jose Lean's CD rating is 4. And you would go to the CD table for the second baseman, and you would flip another random number, in this case 62, and you would go to CD4, and you would find 62, and you would read the result. No action occurs, resume normal play procedure. You just do another control check and proceed with play as normal. But you'll see that had that number been, let's say a 15, a great catch of a shallow fly, runner's hold. Double play on a 21 to 26, 27, hard shot through for a single, runner's advance 2 bases. It's these CD tables that provide some more flavor to the normal hits that will happen throughout the game. So it sort of gave some nice context where the normal plays would happen off of these cards, and those special plays would come from these CD tables. And then, of course, finally, you can have the possibility of the Z results, the crazy things that can happen. Other games will call those rare results. Let's just take a look at the first couple here. Catcher argues over balls and strikes, gets ejected. Pitcher gets ejected. Let's go to 16. Pitcher is caught doctoring the baseball and is ejected. League suspends him for 7 days. Let's look at 24. Fan reaches out of stands for foul ball. Who does that remind you of? Obtain a new random number, 11 to 28. Fan touches a ball and umpires call the batter out. 31 to 88. No play as neither fan nor fielder can reach the ball. Of course, the thing I'm thinking of was a fair ball, not a foul ball. 26, batter pulls a muscle, minor injury, but must leave this game. So lots of stuff like that can happen in this game as well. I think it's a pretty complete game. All right, so that's Statis Pro Baseball. For those of you that never had a chance to play it as a kid or as an adult because it's been out of print, I hope this gives you a feel for what it's like. It's not as it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of the more modern games. Obviously, they didn't have all the same statistics at their disposal when they created this game. So it's possible that might turn some people off from thinking about picking up a used copy of this. I mentioned earlier that besides this 1992 season, I did get the greatest teams set, and I went ahead and these bags that these teams are in did not come with the game. These are my own little Ziploc baggies that I bought to put my game parts in. But anyway, let me just tell you what teams are out there. If you're interested in trying this game, I'd probably recommend getting the greatest teams. It gives you a way just to sample the game. You've got the 61 New York, 76 Philadelphia, 84 Detroit, 62 San Francisco, 86 New York, 75 Cincinnati. Got some more here. 65 Minnesota, 69 Baltimore, 62 Los Angeles, and one more, 1975 Oakland. So definitely, lots of gameplay there if you can find these great teams compilations. And like I said, eBay has a lot more teams available too. I think lots of seasons and even some franchise all-star teams. Okay, so my summary of this game is that it's a fantastic baseball game, and I'm truly bummed it had to go out of print all those years ago. Best game board of any baseball game, in my opinion. Really good stuff. I already talked about the fact that I love how it tracks pitcher effectiveness. I love all the tables surrounding the board, which negates the need for extra charts. I love the way that the clutch defense, brings out those special plays, while the majority of the plays come from the fast action card results and the player cards. So games move really fast. It's unfortunate there's no special solitaire rules built in. That does make the current crop of games a little bit better for solitaire play, in my opinion. But most of us who are used to playing baseball games are pretty okay managing both dugouts. So really not sure what else to add. It's a great throwback game. I love that I have it in my collection. It's fun to bring it out every now and then and play a game. It comes with 98 fast action cards. Again, these will get shuffled, a number of times throughout a game. If you go out and find this game on eBay, there's lots of different versions out there, lots of different artwork on the boxes. This is just one of the later ones, the latest, I think, published rules were the 3rd edition rules. So this is 3rd edition rules and artwork that we're looking at here. Again, 3rd edition. You can get lots of different seasons on eBay. You can get more fast action card decks, what people call improved fast action card decks on eBay, I think, as well. So the game does have some legs. It has some life. If you think you'd like to add another baseball game to your collection, I would recommend this one. It's a joy to play. It's also fun to see the influence of a game like this on the more modern games. So I think that's about it. I didn't expect to be doing a segment on Statis Pro Baseball today, but the recent talk on the forums and the fact that there was not yet a video highlighting this game on Board Game Geek gave me the incentive today to get this out, get this on the table, and show people about Statis Pro Baseball. It deserves some recognition for being one of the classics and one of the precursors to the more modern games that are out there. So if you have any questions as an owner, I'll be happy to answer them for you. I'll do the best I can. Kudos to Jim Barnes, wherever you are, for giving me tons and tons of baseball games on my floor while I watched TV as a kid. For those of you watching this channel for the first time, if you want to see more of this kind of content, please subscribe. Would love to have you on board. If you like this video, hit the like button. And until next time, I will talk to you later.